Yeah, good morning. Good morning to one and all. So, welcome to this session. This is first paper, that is 24th morning shift paper. So, we are going to discuss this one little comprehensively. If you have any doubts, you can post me right now. Okay. So, we are going to talk about all these different kind of aspects, and I will try to remember, and I'll try to make you remember what are the points we already discussed in the class. How many times that we are talking about this point? If you remember this point, what are the metals which are having the positive SRP? The metals which are having the positive SRP are, what are the metals which are having positive SRP? Copper has the positive SRP, mercury has the positive SRP, as well as silver is having the positive SRP, platinum has positive SRP, gold has positive SRP. What did I tell? Is this correct or not? At the same time, we already discussed this one also. Because of the positive SRP, their oxides are highly unstable. Whenever we heat these oxides, they give the respective metal by liberating the oxygen gas. Do you remember this? So no point at all. This is having negative SRP. This has negative SRP. This has negative SRP. The only one which is having positive SRP will be copper. Did we discuss this point or not? How many times? Plenty of times. That's what I told. Try to analyze the paper. Don't try to by heart, or don't try to remember the paper. Try to analyze the paper. That is very important part or important aspect. Next one. Here they are reacting with the dilute KMnO4. They are reacting with the dilute KMnO4. When you are reacting with the dilute KMnO4, you have to remember another one more thing. If you have an alkene, that is no okay. But if you don't have alkene and still you are reacting with the dilute KMnO4, there is another one more reaction. That is, whenever you are having CH, CH3, 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 whenever you are reacting with the dilute KMnO4, here also one reaction is possible. What is that reaction? If it is having the tertiary hydrogen, it will be converted to alcohol. But this is not that situation. The situation here, it is little different. That is, look at this. Now here the compound which is going to be, here I have CH3, it undergoes cis addition. KMnO4, osmium tetroxide additions are cis additions, and moreover they are going to form hexa compounds, hexacyclic structures. So now here one OH group will be formed, here another OH group will be formed. Two OH groups will be formed. Now we have CrO3. So chromium oxide, CrO3 it is going to be, what type of agent CrO3 will be? CrO3, it is having mild oxidizing agent. Mild oxidizing agent. K2Cr2O7, KMnO4, these are strong oxidizing agents. Chlorine water also, that is also strong oxidizing agent. CrO3, PCC, PDC, these are having the tendency to convert primary alcohol into the aldehyde, secondary alcohol into the ketone. Now, there is one alcohol here, this is secondary alcohol, this is tertiary alcohol. Since it is a mild oxidizing agent, it does not have any effect on this tertiary alcohol, but it will be having an effect on the secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol can be converted to ketone. Secondary alcohol can be converted to ketone. The same reaction can be executed without any fuss or without any doubt. That is, another reagent I can use, that is PCC I can use, or PDC also I can use. PCC I can use as well as PDC I can use. And the same thing I can do another one more thing, that is, if I take KMnO4 and heat it, what will be the formed compound? If I take KMnO4, base, alkaline KMnO4, and I heat it, what will be the formed compound? Cleavage, right. It will undergo cleavage. Definitely undergo cleavage. Here ketone will be formed. Here, what will be formed? Acid will form, right, correct. Not aldehyde. That aldehyde will be converted to the acid. So, see, try to analyze the reactions as much as you can. Therefore, it becomes very easy. It will be easy. Next. Yeah, here I guess the cleavage also they have given. Look at this. The cleavage also given when it is possible. So when you take concentrated alkaline KMnO4 is okay, or concentrated K2Cr2O7 along with H2SO4. That is what is the name of that compound? Chromic acid. Of course, correct. Acidified K2Cr2O7 is nothing but chromic acid. Where you use chromic acid in the laboratory? Are you going for lab? No, you are not going for lab. If you go to the lab and I'll ask you, tell me after you went to the lab, okay? It's a very vital reagent in the laboratory. Maybe you will use or you don't use, I don't know, but it's a very, very important reagent. Next, whenever we see this kind of reaction, I'll remember. So first, whenever I see NaNO2HCl, I remember one thing, that is going to be, yes, diazotation. If they did not mention this, I will put one thing, that is going to be phenol. But they have given this. This is nothing but Sandmeier's reaction. If they would have given Cu2Cn taken twice, that could be Clutterman reaction. So, but this is Sandmeier's reaction. In Sandmeier's reaction, what will be the formed compound for me here? Cyanide. Benzene nitrile or cyanobenzene, according to your comfortability, that is okay. Next one, what is this reaction? Stephan reduction. Stephan reduction. If this cyanide, if it undergo hydrolysis, for example, just imagine, I am not doing this, I am just doing hydrolysis. If I do hydrolysis, it will give me benzoic acid. That will give me benzoic acid. For example, if I take lithium aluminum hydride, what does it give to me? Huh? Amine, right, benzamine. Benzamine. Benzamine it will give. Now what they are doing, Stephan reduction, it will be Stephan reduction or Stephan's reaction, SnCl2, first it will convert not up to the carboxylic acid, it is almost like partial kind of hydrolysis. So it will convert this one into of course, including this one I am talking about. Actually, first it will do, here one H will be added, here another H will be added. C triple bond N. Na? So in the C triple bond N, here one H will be added, here another H will be added. That is what it will do. SnCl to HCl will do that thing. But followed by hydrolysis. This is very, very important. When followed by hydrolysis, which means I already added a hydrogen here and hydrogen here. Now one bond is gone. Now here HU, OHU, another HU, OH. Gem diol. Gem diol by the loss of water, aldehyde. Stephan reduction followed by the hydrolysis. Here hydrolysis is also there. Right. So reduction followed by hydrolysis. Now if I add, for example, if I add, what is the formed compound? Right, benzene. Right, correct. Benzene will be formed. That is nothing but decarboxylation. Okay, na? Clear? Can I ask you one question? Yeah, tell me. Let it be 1 and this is 2, which can undergo decarboxylation fast. Why? Right. The intermediate here it is forming is a carbanion. Not anion, carbanion. So carbanion always gets stabilized by electron withdrawing groups. It gets destabilized by electron releasing group. Here I have electron releasing group. So therefore this is going to be highly unstable. Okay. So anyway, we are just trying to make you remember more number of reactions, that's it. So this is one reaction, this reaction is Sandmeier's reaction, this reaction is Stephan's reduction. So two reactions are there, remember. They can give two questions also, but they put it at one place. Where is the question? Okay. HOCl and H2O2 gives rise to H3O plus Cl minus as well as O2. Okay. Here one O is from this and another O is from this. And here both the oxygens are having the oxidation state -1. Here oxygen is having oxidation state 0. Isn't it? Is that correct or not? Now -1 is converted to 0, therefore it undergo oxidation. Here H2O2 is acting as a reducing agent. And remember this, H2O2 react with O3. H2O2 react with any these kind of oxy acids, HOCl or HOBr or HOI, it can act as a reducing agent. And very precisely I told you in the last class, before the last class, I told you few things to you. H2O2 can act as an oxidizing agent in acidic medium, basic medium. H2O2 can act as reducing agent in acidic medium as well as basic medium. But H2O2 can act as effective oxidizing agent in acidic medium. H2O2 can act as effective reducing agent in basic medium. Right? Of course, this is an acidic medium reaction. We could not do anything. This is acting as a reducing agent. It is acting as a reducing agent. Now here it is crystal clear. Look at this. How good this is. And moreover, you have to appreciate one more thing. The greatest reducing character of H2O2 that will come out here. Actually, I minus can easily convert it to I2. If you take I minus, it can easily convert it to I2, no doubt about it. But conversion of I2 to I minus, which means that it's a tremendous thing. It's not a small thing. It's a fantastic thing, which means you have to understand and you have to appreciate that H2O2 strongest reducing character. I'm just looking at the reaction and I'm talking about it. So you just have an idea in your brain that how good reducing agent H2O2 in which medium? Alkaline medium. But the same thing, for example, if you take I minus and react with KMnO4 in basic medium, what is the formed compound, Rabbi? Right, IO3 minus. Same I minus react with Cr2O7 2 minus. I2, no surprise at all. Since it is a strong medium, strong basic medium, KMnO4 in the presence of basic medium is going to be, it's a strongest oxidizing agent. But K2Cr2O7 gives I2. NO, I2. N2O, I2. You take any normal oxidizing agent. Any normal oxidizing agent. Take HOs here and try to react with I2. The one and only one which is able to convert to this extent, those are going to be KMnO4 in the presence of the basic medium. It's such a great strongest oxidizing agent. This is. It's okay. Now I guess it is very clear that what they are asking? Choose the correct option. H2O2 oxidizing, no. H2O2 reducing, okay. Oxidizing, no. Oxidizing, reducing, no. Can act as a reducing agent, correct. It is acting as a reducing agent. And try to analyze those reactions. You have good opportunity, that is, you still be having excellent opportunity, that is, you will be having next March 15th exam papers as well as next papers also, which means that you can analyze the paper to what difficulty level they are going to be. So just to do the papers of, just try to analyze the papers. Don't try to solve the papers. Try to analyze the paper, then you can get, for example, if you observe or not, first exam they have given gunmetal, na? Next exam they have given this German silver. They always rotated like that. If once they have given lactose, for example, just imagine, if once they have given lactose, next paper they will give, definitely it is going to be some cellulose or something else. Which means they will select, it's not like they prepared the question paper in the offline. It is like they have some 10,000 questions they prepared already. From those 10,000 questions from the particular topic they are going to pick the questions. Which means that it is very easy to pick the pattern. Like how the police or in movies the hero is going to find out the villain pattern. So similarly, you can pick that pattern actually. So if German silver is given, gunmetal, and next time it is going to be some alnico or something else. Right? If something they have given photochemical smog in one exam, and the next exam they are going to talk about what they are going to global warming, ozone depletion. So these are all just regular patterns. You just observe, take the 6 question papers and try to get the similarities between them. It becomes quite easier. It will be very easy. It's okay. Now we are running out of the time. Yeah, I guess this is going to be quite easier one. So x by m is equals to k into p power 1 divided by n. Here slope is equals to 1 divided by n, which lies in between, the value which is lies in between 0 to 1. And if it is less than 1, less than 0 and greater than 1 infinity, and we have seen already. So it is not about the, yeah. These are the ones which are there absolutely in NCERT textbook. I guess caprolactam is nothing but nylon 6 and 2-chloro 1,3 butadiene neoprene. Isoprene will be natural rubber. See, these two are actually both are present in one page, almost like some 4 or 5 lines gap. Isoprene is natural rubber and neoprene is going to be the artificial rubber. Artificial rubber. Acrylonitrile. Acrylonitrile. Bunion. Acrylonitrile, what is acrylonitrile actually? CH2 double bond CH single bond CH. Which means on vinylic carbon you will be having cyanide. Right? If it is chlorine is present, that is nothing but PVC, polyvinyl chloride. Isn't it? Next. Yeah, this is this one also I guess we have done in the class. Al2O3 was leached. If you remember the file that we shared and we discussed in the class also. Al2O3 when it is leached with alkali. Al2O3 is the amphoteric substance. When it is leached with base, for example, if you leach it with the base, then what will be formed? NaAlOH taken 4 times. Then after we have to fused with carbon dioxide. Therefore, it will give me Na2CO3 by leaving Al2O3 XH2O. I told you we will be having 3 different types of bauxites. 3 different types of bauxites. Actually, 2 different types of bauxites. White bauxite or red bauxite. Red bauxite is having more impurities as Fe2O3. White bauxite is having more impurities as SiO2. So, Hall's process and Baer's process, which are used to purify the red bauxite. Serpex process, which is used to purify the white bauxite. In Serpex process, we will treat with coke powder along with nitrogen. It will give ALN. Undergo hydrolysis, gives AlOH taken thrice. Upon heating, gives Al2O3. That is Serpex process. Hall's process and Baer's process, same pattern. In Baer's process, what they will do, first they will treat with the sodium hydroxide. Then after they treat it with the carbon dioxide. This is Baer's process. Second one, Hall's process. It is used to purify the low-grade red bauxite. In the low-grade red bauxite, what they will do? First they will treat with the sodium carbonate. They will get same. Sodium carbonate aqueous solution is nothing but base. They are treating with base only. Then after what they will do? Again the same pattern. They will treat with carbon dioxide. Same thing. So, in Baer's process as well as in Hall's process, maybe the first step is different. Low grade, which means less number of bases. That's why they will use less base. There they used strong base. Here they are using less base. Na2CO3. Na2CO3 is a salt of strong base, weak acid. Is it correct or not? How can you calculate its pH? Na2CO3 pH formula. Na2CO3 aqueous solution pH formula 7 plus 1 divided by 2 pKa2 plus log C. Okay. Connect with one with another one. It will take little time, but you have to. It will take little time, but you can connect it. It doesn't make much. It doesn't take much time. Sorry. The major composition of the gunmetal, it's going to be copper, tin, zinc. There was one weird logic for these remembering alloys. I thought that was very weird and it is not useful, but I will tell you. I'll tell you, it will take little time, not now, but I'll tell you it will take some 10 minutes. But I'll tell you that was very weird and you will laugh it. But eventually you can remember the alloys. I had a thought to talk about at the time of D block, but I thought that it's a very weird and it's a very funny kind of thing. But I'll tell you that is a 4 A's, 4 to 3 B's, 1 D, that kind of thing. So I'll tell you. One day I'll tell you. I'll talk about it. Surely I'll talk about it. Yeah. Next one, consider magnesium, aluminium, sulfur, phosphorus, silicon. How many times this pattern they are asking in the JEE mains as well as JEE advanced also. This is third period. Second period also they ask so many times. Second period if they want to ask, they will ask beryllium. This is going to be boron. And here you will get, what was that? Oxygen, nitrogen, carbon. Same ditto kind of pattern. What is that pattern actually? First thing, if you are talking about the magnesium, then after aluminium, no? Magnesium, then after aluminium. First, before that, sodium you have. Sodium, this is the sodium. Sodium to magnesium increase. Why sodium to magnesium increase? What is the reason? Sodium to magnesium, why ionization enthalpy increase? First ionization enthalpy increase. What is the reason? Nuclear charge. Nuclear charge. Left to right, ionization enthalpy increase because of nuclear charge. Right? Down the group, ionization enthalpy decreases because of atomic radius. That is natural thing, normal thing. Now, this is sodium, this is magnesium. Okay? Magnesium to aluminium decrease. Or we could say that magnesium has more ionization, more first ionization enthalpy when compared with aluminium. This is because of penetration power of 2s orbitals than 2p orbitals. Remember, what is the logic? What is the reason? Penetration power of 2s orbital than 2p orbitals of aluminium, penetration power. Next, this is going to be aluminium, silicon. Aluminium to silicon increases. Why? The reason is simple, nuclear charge. Left to right, nuclear charge will increase. Sir, here also nuclear charge increases now. Nuclear charge is dominated by penetration power. Increase, no doubt. But penetration power is dominated. Next, silicon to, next one. Emma? Phosphorus, na? Yeah, increases. Phosphorus to sulfur decrease. So what is the logic behind phosphorus to sulfur decrease? Half-filled configuration. Next, sulfur to, is there anything given? Nothing. Sulfur to chlorine, increase. Chlorine to argon, increase. So, first ionization enthalpy of magnesium is greater than first ionization enthalpy of aluminium. But second ionization enthalpy of aluminium is greater than second ionization enthalpy of magnesium. Here there is another one more point. First ionization enthalpy of phosphorus is greater than first ionization enthalpy of sulfur. This is very normal. But whereas second ionization enthalpy of sulfur is greater than second ionization enthalpy of phosphorus. Same kind of thing you could do with the second period elements also. Same pattern. But what are the elements here? But what are the elements here? Lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon. Oh, sorry. Here I missed something. Carbon. This is nitrogen. This is oxygen, fluorine, neon. Same pattern. You check past 20 years papers, whether it is JEE Mains or JEE Advanced. There is no paper, almost every twice, for every 2 years one time, or sometimes consecutive years, successive years also, They asked this. I don't know why they are asking this. But they are asking here also the same point. IE1 of beryllium is greater than IE1 of boron, but IE2 of boron is greater than IE2 of beryllium. And another one. Here there is another one more thing, oxygen. IE1 of nitrogen is greater than IE1 of oxygen. IE2 of oxygen is greater than IE2 of nitrogen. Another one more point that is they are asking, that is about electron affinity. Electron affinity of oxygen is less when compared with the sulfur. Sulfur is greater than selenium, is greater than tellurium, is greater than polonium, is greater than oxygen. That is because of the smaller size of the oxygen. Next, another one more group is there. What was that? 7th A group. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Chlorine has more electron affinity when compared with these 2 points. Ionization enthalpy of second period, third period. Electron affinity of 6th A group or 7th A group. You check every year almost this question will be there. These two. Either that or this. Remember. Next. Yeah. The major product of what is the major product of HI when it reacts with some alkene is given. But here alkenes are going to followed by how many types of mechanism? I am not going to talk about every reaction, but we will just quick through. We will just go through. How many types of reactions can be exhibited by alkenes? There are 2 different types of reaction mechanism can be followed by alkene. Alkenes are which type of substances? Nucleophiles. Nucleophiles can definitely react with the electrophiles. So, alkenes can be followed through or processed through 2 different types of mechanism. One is formation of carbocation and another one is bridging ion. That is, for example, if you take any alkene, alkene is going to, for example, if it reacts with electrophile, it will follow CH2 double bond CH2 E plus, bridging carbonium ion. Sir, what is the difference between this one and the another one? Here, no rearrangement possible. Absolutely no. There is no need to look back at. Sir, what are the examples for this? That one is there, no? Reaction with bromine, reaction with chlorine, HgOAc taken twice, oxymercuration, demercuration. So that is one example. And hydroboration. Hydroboration is also this example, cyclic structure. So their rearrangement is not possible. Whereas another thing is there, that is here electrophile is someone, here electrophile is hydrogen. If electrophile is hydrogen for an alkene, definitely rearrangement is on the cards. 100% rearrangement is possible because bond will be polarized in either direction. Now this is going to be CH2 plus CH3, of course. Carbocation is formed. Carbocation is very selfish. It always goes for the rearrangements. That's why it is possible. And moreover, previously some 2 years back, no rearrangements to be given in the JEE mains exam. Because rearrangements were not there in the NCERT textbook. It is not there in the NCERT. But when they started online exams, from there onwards rearrangements they are asking. Mostly they are asking the rearrangements in the case of the alkenes. Mostly they are asking in the case of the alkenes. So get that point right, whether you have H plus or you have E plus. If you have H plus, definitely rearrangement is possible. It will go to the core. So what is that process here? Here I am talking about this. Bond will be polarized in this direction. Why bond is polarized? Because of big plus I group here. So bond will be polarized in the direction. Negative charge, positive charge. Hydrogen is going to be attacked here. So therefore, it will form CH3, bond CH3, bond CH3, CH plus CH3. So now this is secondary carbocation. Always 2 different types of shifts are possible. More than 2 shifts are possible, but usually 2 shifts we will see. One is hydride shift, another one is methyl shift or alkyl shifts. So here methyl shift is on the cards. Methyl shift is possible. Now CH3, CCH3 plus CH3, CH3. Now here I minus is going to be, how many stereoisomers are possible? How many stereoisomers are possible? Right, 0, no stereoisomers. This is not chiral center. Of course, this is also not chiral center. Of course, this is also not chiral center. This is also not chiral center. Definitely, they are not chiral centers. I'm just asking. Okay. So, for example, if something is different given, then it would have been possible. Definitely, that could be possible. But here, there is no chiral centers possible. Next. Which of the following are isostructural? Isostructural, which means not isoelectron. Isostructural, which means they have the same kind of structure. SO4 2 minus tetrahedral sp3 hybridization, CrO4 minus 2 tetrahedral, at the same time sp3 D3s hybridization. D3s, Cr2O7 2 minus 2, CrO4 minus 2, MnO4 minus 2, these are all D3s or SD3, remember. Tetrahedral, tetrahedral. Right? How many p pi d pi bonds are present here? How many p pi d pi bonds are present here? Here? 2. Okay? CrO4 minus 2 reacts with Pb plus 2 gives PbCrO4, yellow color. Reacts with Ba plus 2, BaCrO4, yellow color. CrO4 minus 2 reacts with H plus. What does it give? Read with H plus here. Cr2O7 2 minus. This is yellow, this is orange red. That is how we find out the color discrimination between whether it is an acidic medium or an basic medium. See, chromium oxide, it can act as an effective oxidizing agent in acidic medium or basic medium. Acidic medium, dichromate, always act as an oxidizing agent in which medium? Acidic medium. K2Cr2O7 reacts with KCl. K2Cr2O7 reacts with KCl along with H2SO4, heating. What is the formed compound? CrO2Cl2, chromyl chloride. Chromyl chloride, which one treated with base gives CrO4 minus 2. Then you treat with Pb plus 2, gives yellow color. Chromyl chloride test. Chromyl chloride test, that is the chromyl chloride test. CrO4 minus 2 reacts with H2O2. What is the formed compound? Cr2O7 2 minus reacts with H2O2. What is the formed compound? CrO5, butterfly structure. Given already. You're not looking at into all those things. Now I am sensing it. SiCl4 tetrahedral, TaCl4 tetrahedral, NH3 pyramidal, NO3 minus planar trigonal, BCl3 trigonal, BrCl3 T shape. 2 lone pairs, 3 bond pairs, T shape. Is it right? So which are having the same structure? A, B option is there. It's okay. Right. Next. Yeah, this is too good question. I feel that they have to ask these kind of questions because this is almost like faded. The reactions are, these reactions are there in the NCERT, but these reactions they've never been asking actually. So that's why this is good thing to ask. CH3, CH2, CH3, which means alkane. Alkane, how it undergoes oxidation? Just now we told KMnO4 alkaline medium. If it has tertiary hydrogen, gives you tertiary alcohol. Remember, if you react with molybdenum oxide, gives aldehyde. Molybdenum oxide gives aldehyde. Manganese acetate gives carboxylic acid. Manganese acetate given a manganese acetate gives carboxylic acid. Next, copper at high temperature and high pressure gives alcohol. Copper at high temperature, high pressure gives alcohol. Potassium, see, look at this. This can cause oxidation. This can cause oxidation. This can cause oxidation. And this can also cause oxidation, but different. This is master class. Definitely you will be confused. Not only you, even myself. If I look at the question, everyone will get confused. Because whether it is alcohol or it is aldehyde or carboxylic acid. But one thing is confirmed, KMnO4 we can remove it. But the confusion will come between these two for me. But later on I found manganese acetate, I remember acetate, acetic acid will form. So like that I remembered when I was a student. So still I am remembering like that only. And here I got confusion, but later on I found that okay, copper, that is going to be more reduced form, and this is going to be more oxidized form. Like that I cracked it. Next, out of the following, the type of interactions which are responsible for the stabilization of alpha helix structures of proteins. Alpha helix structure are nothing but hydrogen bondings. Primary structure is nothing but skeleton. Secondary structure which are going to be formed normal bonds. Tertiary structure, alpha helical structure means tertiary structure. These are which type of bonds which are formed? Hydrogen bonds or dipole-dipole forces, ion-dipole forces. But in alpha helix particularly, these are going to be formed. When more than one alpha helical structure are combined together, they will give quaternary structure. That is nothing but the protein. And you can disintegrate. How the protein will undergo what is denaturation? How the protein will undergo denaturation? Yes, change in pH, nothing but add a base. That's why if a small amount of base which is fallen on you, if you just a small amount of base is fallen, not the laboratory base. Laboratory bases are 0.1 molar, less than 0.1 molar also 0.01. So normal sodium hydroxide pellets, if you put the sodium hydroxide pellet on your skin will almost it undergo like the shape or as well as the nature as the color of your skin is going to be changed, because the proteins which are present over there, it is going to be denatured. Falling an acid, falling of a base, temperature, so everything can cause the denaturation. Nothing but that is what happened in the case of the egg. Egg is nothing but quaternary structure is going to be broken and it is going to be eased out. That is also denaturation of protein. That is happening with the heat. Because of the quaternary structure broken, we can call entropy of egg is more if it is boiled. If egg is normal situation, its entropy is more because it has primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary structures. But if you heat it, the quaternary structure will be broken. Tertiary structures are also almost tend to broken. That's why number of structures are broken. Now molecules get more freedom of motion. That's why boiled egg has more entropy than normal egg. Right? Next. Yeah, this is also a good question, no doubt. This is actually once they asked in JEE Advanced also, one similar kind of situation. Or this kind of situation, it is there everywhere. Now look at this. Actually, this is quite interesting question because whenever you take ammonia, amine, now it is aniline. Amine is which type, which directing group? Ortho-para-directing group. Which directing group? Ortho-para-directing group. When compared with ortho, para percentage will be more because of steric hindrance. Because NO2, definitely it is going to be quite possible, para will be more, no doubt. But ortho is not that much more, but we could expect something. But here, if you look at this one, meta is very, very high. Why the meta is very, very high rather than the ortho? Of course, steric hindrance is one reason. There is another one more reason, that is, we are treating with concentrated HNO3 as well as H2SO4. So first we will add H2SO4 to this. Whenever I add H2SO4 to this one, now it will be converted to anilinium ion. Anilinium ion, one of the best electron withdrawing group. Even it is better than sulfonic, even it is better than cyanide, even it is better than C double bond O. Because it is carrying charge, positive charge, which means very strong electron withdrawing group. Whenever you have strong electron withdrawing group like NO2 group, it should be meta directing group. That's why it is forming like this. Very good question. It is analysis, not remember. You cannot remember this. Just analysis. They are also asking analysis. I am giving you the product. You tell me why the product is formed. They are asking you the reason. They did not ask you what is the product. They will give major product. It's okay. After the major product, what could be the other product? Everyone will put this. But they have given the reactant, they have given the reagent, They have given products and also the composition percentages, everything they're asking, and they're asking you, yeah, tell me what is the logic. How good question this is. It's too good. Organic, almost every paper they tested to the good level. Physical, every paper they asked in the numericals. It's like almost like you got the choice. Right now, you can do simple questions and you can leave the tough questions. So that is a kind of situation. Yeah. The product which is formed in the first step of the reaction. This is very, very important here. First step of the reaction. In the first step of the reaction, when you are treating with a dry ether along with magnesium, now what will be formed? MgBr. Second step, for example, if they asked what is the product which is formed at the end of the reaction, therefore what is the reaction that is going to be formed? See, first, second, third, three-membered ring. To this, one methyl should be attached. To this, one ethyl should be attached. If you look at the, you will get one kind of, this is the difference between memory-based and exact question paper. This is exact question. Memory-based question paper has come after the completion of this one. What they have given, do you know? If these two are reacted, what is the product formed? That's why you may get confused. You might have seen some solutions, but they have that is memory based, na? That's why they have given like this. What is the product which is formed? And they put answer. So something like, yeah, see something. They put this one as the answer. Whether the option is there or not, I don't know. But they created this option and they put the answer for this. But actually, first step. This is the difference between memory based question paper, original question paper. This is original question paper. Don't worry about it, okay? If you might have seen any, someone asked me yesterday also, sir, that is, they told, but you are telling this. No, whatever I am telling that is true, but that is memory based, this is exact question paper. Next, which of the following compound gives pink color on reaction with phthalic anhydride in concentrated H2SO4 and followed by reaction with the sodium hydroxide? Phthalic anhydride, C double bond O, C double bond O, O, phthalic anhydride. Now they started reacting with H2SO4, which means, remember, you have H2SO4, which means you are trying to give H+. H+ is nothing but it is like an electrophile. It is having lone pair of electrons. Now it will come to here. Positive charge will form. Because of it is highly unstable, bond will polarize. Now what will be formed? Acyl carbocation, highly stable. Acyl carbocation which is highly stable. And this is what happened in the case of the Friedel-Crafts acylation. Friedel-Crafts acylation, this is the carbocation which will be formed. Now here this is C double bond O, OH. Now it should attack. It should attack on some compound and it should give me phenolphthalein indicator. It's a good question because phenolphthalein indicator. Sir, I don't know the structure of phenolphthalein. You have in your practicals. This is practical organic chemistry question. They're asking the question since 4 or 5 years, whether it is a practical inorganic chemistry or practical organic chemistry. Phenolphthalein indicator, that is you need to have some phenol group. You should be having some phenol group that should be available with you, and which has to be possible. So where it has to be possible, C double bond O group, that should be ortho para directing group. So I guess answer is this, because OH is here. I'll tell you why this is answered. OH is here. Para position, which means this position is possible. Steric hindrance is also less. And look at this. This is OH. This is para. Not, it is blocked already. This is OH. This is para, blocked. Therefore, this option is eliminated. Next. This is OH. This option is also eliminated. And moreover, this is the OH. This is very simple, very easy to identify. All are blocked, only one is left, this one. Here this will be attacked. C double bond O, COH is present. Now you are treating with what? Sodium hydroxide. Two SD groups are there. One is a phenol SD group. O minus Na plus will be formed. Here also Na plus formed. That is why it converted to pink color. Basic medium, phenolphthalein indicator, pink color. Correct. Right? What is the major product which is given in the reaction? Now you tell me what is the reaction this is first of all? What is the name of that reaction? First what I will do, this is H plus Cl minus ra, electrophile. Electrophile always search for the nucleophilic center. Where is the nucleophilic center for me? It will come. OH is a bad leaving group, but HBO plus is the best leaving group. Now it will leave. So what is the formed compound? Sorry, not benzene, no? CH3, CH3 plus carbocation. Which carbocation? Secondary carbocation. In order to get tertiary carbocation, the compound will do everything. Hydrate shift it will do. Here hydrogen is there. Hydrate shift will do. After doing the hydrate shift, now this is going to be CH3, CH2, CH3. This is carbocation. Now, who has to attack here? Cl minus. Cl minus will be attacked here. Okay? This is chiral center. Two stereoisomers are possible. Am I right or not? Of course, they did not go to that extent. Here Cl minus will be attacked because of hydrate shift. See, rearrangement, that one is given alkene, this rearrangement. This is dehydration. What is the reaction? Dehydration. Followed by, after that what is added? Chlorination. Dehydration followed by chlorination. Happened. Water molecule is removed, then after we added the HCl. Right. Next. So the gas which is released during the anaerobic degradation of vegetation may lead to, this is quite typical environmental chemistry, what we can say that wording or format. Usually it's not that easy to answer. It is not that easy to answer. It is little different as well as the difficult also to answer because of you have to understand first of all this anaerobic degradation. Aerobic degradation, anaerobic degradation. Degradation which means like normal any biological systems or any biological things, when they dead they will undergo degradation process. Now they are asking, this is nothing but anaerobic degradation is nothing but simply, I can tell you something, nothing but formation of gobar gas. Methane. It can cause global warming. But extent, more extent. Methane is the more extent, no? Methane is the major one that will be formed, isn't it? So global warming, the reason is methane and carbon dioxide gases only. Right? So I am not saying that this is a simple question you can just put like that. You have to read it. I forwarded almost every content which is needed for your theory topics. Biomolecules I forwarded. Chemistry in everyday life I forwarded. Environmental chemistry I forwarded. Of course I did not teach, but I have done lot of work to point out everything, and I kept and I have taken some material and I have taken some of my faculty help, and they have done something and I have done something, and we forwarded to you. Whether you are preparing or not, I don't know. God only knows. God knows it. But if you look at the biomolecules, chemistry of life, environmental chemistry, as well as another one more of polymers. For these 4 topics, I forwarded enough content to you. These are special topics mainly for the JEE Mains, not for the advanced. You have to see them daily. Chemistry of life, environmental chemistry, you have to see it. Environmental chemistry, I guess, if I am not wrong, I pointed out with the colors. yellow color, red color, not to read everything, the total content. 2 days I have taken leave. Those 2 days I have done that work only. I pointed everything, each and everything. So then I'm leaving it to you. So whether you have to prepare or not, that is up to you. This is the work we are doing. So the counter work you are unable to reciprocate, then what could we do? Next. Yeah, this is also a good thing. Malachite CuCO3 dot CuOH taken twice. Siderite FeCO3. Calamine ZnCO3. Sperlite ZnS along with FeS. What is this? ZnS along with FeS. If these are all single species actually, but this is the multiple species. ZnS to FeS. In order to separate that one, what we will do is we will treat with KCN or NaCN. Zinc can form complex with cyanide or not? That's it. It is able to form the complex. It is not their original froth flotation process. If someone said it is there in the froth flotation, no. Being it is a sulfide ore, that is okay. But why you are using that? Because you want to separate it from the iron. Of course, excess amount of zinc will be there, little amount of iron and very small amount of some lead is also present. I want to separate zinc from over there. That's why I will treat with KCN or NaCN. Therefore, it gives me the complex. Cyanide complex it will give. Okay, right? Next. Yeah, now these are all going to be, it's a matter of time to solve all this. See, so far, this is very weird. So far, I haven't seen even one physical chemistry also. Right now? It was never happened before. Maybe your batch, maybe very fortunate or unfortunate, I don't know. But it's like little fortunate only because physical chemistry, they kept it integers. That's why you can save little time. You can choose 5 questions, na? So you could save that, you can save the time. Definitely you can save the time. Gaseous cyclobutane isomerizes butadiene. First order process, K value is equals to K is equal to 3.3 into 10 power minus 4 at 153 degrees Celsius. 40% is completed. Let us consider A is equals to 100, X is equal to 40. Now what they are asking, that is the time in minutes. Time t is equal to 2.303 divided by K 3.3 into 10 power minus 4 log 100 divided by 100 minus 40. Stupid calculation actually this is. Very stupidity calculation, and moreover they will give only small range, maybe plus or minus 5 in decimals. Plus or minus 5 only, na, they will give. In decimals they will give plus or minus 5. So this is really ridiculous calculation. Even I tried yesterday, but eventually I used calculator and I got the answer. Next, the coordination number of an atom in body center. You cannot get better than this question. BCC A2, FCC it is going to be, how much? 12. Simple cubic? 6. Simple cubic 6. Packing efficiencies, do you remember? Next. This one K1 is given, K2 is given, K3 is given, K4 is given. Total they are asking. K total is equal to K1 into K2 into K3 into K4. Right now? K1 into K2 into K3 into K4. If a mechanism or a reaction takes place in several steps, the total equilibrium constant is equals to product of all the equilibrium constants. K1 into K2 into K3 into K4. Next, a proton. I'm not saying that this question I taught. If you check your revision program atomic structure question, I have given same type with Mg plus 2 Al plus 3. I told you de Broglie's wavelength when we have to use the formula. Lambda is equal to H divided by Mv. One formula. Lambda is equal to H divided by P. Another formula. That is when the molecule, when the species or when the particle, if it is moving with particle nature as well as the wave nature, both. Another formula I told, that is, if the particle which is under the influence of electric field, okay, therefore H divided by square root of 2m into Ke, kinetic energy, that is equal to E into V, potential. So lambda is equals to H divided by square root of 2m into E into V. And if you are, if you are not noted down, I forwarded a file at the time of atomic structure to you. I forwarded a file. My previous institution notes I forwarded to you. In that I cannot change the question. Now. Go and check there. This question will be there. What is the ratio of de Broglie wavelengths if Al plus 3 and Mg plus 2 both are oscillated with the same potential? This is the question. Similar type, I am not saying that I told the same question, but similar type of question is there. Here lambda is equals to H divided by square root of 2m into E into V. Here they are saying that it is having the same potential, therefore it is gone. Now you will be having lambda proton divided by lambda Li plus 3 is equal to square root of mass of Li plus 3 into charge of Li plus 3 divided by mass of proton into charge of proton 1. That is equal to mass of lithium plus something they mentioned 8.3 times. So this is going to be square root of 8.3 into 3 divided by 1. The biggest drawback for this question is calculation only. Again, stupid calculation. You cannot afford to do this calculation. Are you able to do this calculation? Approximately 5 will come, something like that we can put now. 24.9. That is okay, 24.9, which means square root 25. 5 we can put now. But this is 1 divided by, you have to take reverse. So therefore 1 by 5, 1 by 5 that is equal to 0.2. Yeah, like that you can, but in the exam you will get it out. Here this is okay, nothing is there. No one are going to judge you, no one will give you the marks, no one will give you the rank. Now we can do aram se. But in the exam we have that pressure. Whether what I have to do, what we need to do, something like that. Yeah, this is a simple thing to ask. S8 plus 2OH minus, S2 minus, S2O3 2 minus. So what we have to do for this model also we discussed in the class at the time of stoichiometry. This is a disproportionation reaction. When you have a disproportionation reaction, you have to write 2 and you need to put S2 minus and S2O3 2 minus. First what we have to do, here 8 sulfurs are there, we have to put 8 here, I have to put 4 here. Now the difference between from here to here it is 16 electrons, from here to here also 16 electrons. If you want you can calculate. So this 16 gets cancelled. Now this is going to be 2S8 gives rise to 8S2 minus 4S2O3 2 minus. 2S8 2 gets cancelled, therefore it will be S8 gives rise to 4S2 minus plus 2S2O3 2 minus. 6 oxygens are there, 6 H2O. Now I have to balance hydrogens. How I balance hydrogens? I will add 12 H2O here, 12 H2O here, and I have to add 12 OH minus here. 12 H2O over there and 12 OH minus opposite side. Simple, it won't take even 1 minute also. Maybe it will take to calculate this oxidation states, but if when you calculating oxidation state like this, you have to calculate here 8x equal to 0. Here also you have to calculate for 8x. 16 you will get. That is very important. When you are balancing like this or when you are balancing the equations like this, that is most important. Whatever the atoms you have taken, for those atoms you have to calculate. Next, number of amphoteric compounds among the following. Amphoteric oxides, this is amphoteric, this is basic. This is amphoteric, this is basic. This is also basic, amphoteric. Tell me another 2 more amphoteric compounds, you know. Al2O3 is amphoteric. Still? Tin hydroxide, tin, SNOH taken twice, amphoteric. Germanium, gallium hydroxides, gallium oxide, germanium oxide, tin oxide, tin hydroxide, lead oxide, lead hydroxide. Lead can react with acid, lead can react with base, lead oxide can react with acid, as well as lead oxide can react with base also. Tell me neutral oxides, 3 neutral oxides, you know. 3 neutral. Another one more amphoteric oxide is there. Wait, please, sorry. ZNO. ZNO is an amphoteric oxide. Amphoteric oxide. Yeah, neutral oxides. Tell me neutral oxides. Carbon monoxide, NO, N2O, not NO2. N2O, CO, NO. Okay? Among them, CO is a normal neutral oxide, that is okay. NO and N2O both are oxidizing agents, remember. NO, N2O are as good oxidizing agents as NO2. It's very important point, remember. And another one more thing, NO2 is an anhydride of HNO3 and HNO2, mixed anhydride, NO2. Tell me another one more mixed anhydride, you know. Mixed anhydride, you know now, mixed anhydride. What is the meaning of mixed anhydride? Upon hydrolysis, it gives 2 acids, P4O8, P4O8, ClO2, ClO2, ClO3. Remember, actually ClO2, ClO3 does not exist, but in the NCERT textbook they will clearly give ClO2. Why ClO2 is formed? Actually that was Cl2O and Cl2O3 mixture. That is Cl2O and Cl2O3 mixture, that is. Okay, right. Next one, 4.5 grams of A was used to make 250 ml of its solution. The molarity of the solution, it's okay. 4.5 divided by 90 into 1000 divided by 250. This much simpler. Yeah, it's okay. 4 times 2 into 9 divided by 90, 10 no, 0.2, 2. Okay, x into, it's okay, right. Next, for the reaction A gives rise to B, the value of equilibrium constant 300 Kelvin and 1 atm is equals to 100. Good. Delta G of reaction is equal to minus 2.303 RT log Kc. And when I am talking about this, I told you another one more thing. Do you remember? Same formula can be used for Kp also. Delta G is equals to minus 2.303 RT log Kp. But that delta G value, this delta G value, both are not same. Both are different, both units are different. Okay? If both are equal, then Kp is equal to Kc. If both are equal, then Kp is equals to Kc. Now substitute in this. What they are asking? Minus XR. R value there is no need to substitute. Good. Minus 2.303 into R into temperature 300 into 100 or 2. It's up to you. Next, at 1900 Kelvin 1 atm pressure, there are equal number of Cl2 molecules and Cl atoms. Equal number of moles of, good, equal number of moles of atoms, therefore X and X. Let us consider mole fractions, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Pressure is given, is there anything pressure, equilibrium pressure is given? 1 atm pressure, good, into 1, therefore 0.5, 0.5. Partial pressure of chlorine is 0.5, partial pressure of this chlorine atom is also 0.5. Kp is equals to partial pressure of chlorine whole square divided by partial pressure of Cl2. 0.5 into 0.5 divided by 0.5. Answer right? 5. Okay, right. Next, when 9.45 grams of ClCH2COH is added to 500 ml of water, its freezing point drops by 0.5 degrees Celsius. Delta Tf is equals to I into Kf into M. Good. Delta Tf 0.5. I value I have to calculate. I is equals to 1 plus alpha. Right? ClCH2COH kadra. Therefore ClCH2CO minus plus H plus, that is equal to 1 plus alpha. I am not writing it. Kf value is 1.86. Good. Then what do you have to calculate? 9.45 grams divided by gram molecular weight. What is the gram molecular weight? CH3COH is 60. One hydrogen is lost. 59. 59 plus 35.5. 90? Sure? Into 1000 divided by 500. Good calculation actually. 5 goes to this. So how much? 1.34. 1.344. 1.344, which means alpha is equal to 34.4%. 34.4%. Answer? It's okay. Here and there. They will give some plus or minus 0.5. So we'll get the answer. Yeah, Cr2O3 is also amphoterate. Correct. So now, so this is the, I guess this is the end of the paper. Yeah, this is the end of the paper. And now we'll discuss the papers. Discussing paper is not at all a big thing. But when we are discussing the paper, how we are analyzing, how you are thinking in the paper, that is more important. Yeah, after discussion, if you did not open the book and you just close the book and leave away, then the same scenario is going to be continued every time. And I am telling you, it is not the previous scenario. It was not like some 4 or 5 years back. 4 or 5 years back, chemistry paper was too easy. I am only telling you, JEE mains paper, JEE advanced, sometimes it could be difficult, sometimes it was easy. But JEE mains, it was almost like cakewalk. You will get 15 theory questions, some 5 normal kind of just you can do with the numericals. Some 10 questions, some 5 or 6 questions are going to be little difficult. Everyone used to get 60, 70. Out of 120 I am talking. 60, 70 everyone used to get. But now the scenario has been changed. People are getting marks in maths and physics, but they are not getting marks in chemistry, which means the papers are standardized. I have not seen some 3 or 4 years back rearrangement reaction in JEE mains. I have not seen this kind of analysis in the JEE mains paper. If you have a doubt, check January 2020 6 question papers of chemistry. Mind will be blown away. That paper 70 marks 100 percentile. Maths 100 marks 100 percentile. Physics 96 100 percentile. My student got. That's why I remembered. He did not get 70. He might got less than 70 around. I don't know what is the marks, but he did not get 70. He got 99.99 percentile. So it was changed. You have to put little effort, and it is not like nothing to remember, nothing to by heart. See, whatever you thinking that you have to by heart, they are giving those answers only, and they are asking you, okay, what is your analysis? Tell me your analysis. Except the gunmetal composition, so far in this paper, nothing is to remember. Right? So hope you will do well in the exam. Tomorrow we will be having one more session. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye.